Hey guys, I'm back in the 100-year-old Slovenian farmhouse. I'll be doing another investigation. In fact, I plan to sleep here. At least, I hope I make it through the night. As you can see, the house has almost been cleared out, but it's in pretty bad shape. The ceilings have gotten a lot worse. It's also really damp. You can't smell it, but you can imagine the scent. I have set up camp here in this living room, dining room, kitchen area. That's all of my equipment. I'll explain what this is later, and that's where I plan to sleep. If you watched the previous two investigations, you'll know that the house has an attic, but I don't plan to go there tonight. Firstly, because snow has melted through the roof and the floors are even worse than they had been. And secondly, when I went to check it out yesterday, I saw a couple of bats. It's their nesting season right now. They could be nesting, and I don't wanna ruin their nests just because of a YouTube video. I actually closed the hatch and plan to keep it closed the whole night. I even padlocked it just for peace of mind. So the plan for tonight is to polaroid photography at various points during the night. Then I'm going to try an EMF meter experiment. I'll turn the EMF meter on, ask a couple of questions, ask anybody to touch the device and see if it lights up. And finally, I'm going to try a ouija board. When it comes to ouija boards, I'm a skeptic. I know about the ideomotor response. I tried it before when me and my wife went to England on a ghost hunting tour, but it didn't work. I think all of the stories around ouija boards are fake or blown out of proportion, but for some reason people have a great fear about them and apprehension. Even skeptics, they won't try it. They fear of summoning dark spirits, demons and such. And even though I'm skeptical, I'm gonna forget about that, let that aside and really commit to it, because I want to give it a shot. Also, you'll notice that this ouija board uses the Slovenian alphabet. You'll see some different letters, like this one, this one, this one, and the yes and no and the goodbye are all in Slovene. I actually had to make my own because all I could find was the English versions, and that could work, but it could be a little confusing to the spirits. I have locked myself in like a true paranormal investigator. I'll keep this camera on me and the experiments, and I'll also be using a secondary static camera to document and verify any possible evidence. Vrnil sem se. Predstavljal se ne bom, ker me že poznate. At this point, my introduction was interrupted by the distinct sound of someone or something sleeping. The microphone barely captures it because it was turned in the opposite direction, and the sound itself is very faint. You can just make out the rhythmic snoring. Wait, hold on. Now I'm trying to locate the source of the sound. I could hear the distinct sound of somebody sleeping, but I think it was an animal, most likely a cat, sleeping on the outside of the house. As it turns out, a cat had been in the area around that time. Most likely, she was the source of the sound. Either that, or my investigations are so boring that the spirits are falling asleep. So I'm going to start off with a few Polaroid photos. That was a dog. This thing is really loud. Let's look through the photos. Nothing special here. Nothing special here. Oh, this one is not good. This one is also nothing special. The next one too. No, nothing here. The face of the man is blurred, but that's probably just from the flash. Yeah, nothing here. Okay, let's start the first experiment. A simple EMF meter session. So far, and even in all the previous investigations, the EMF meter never went off, not even a single spike, nothing. Kdorkoli je tu z menoj, prosim vas, če se dotaknete tiste male zelene svetlobe na hodniku na tleh. Protractor. Let's wait it out. It's pretty late and people are still working. It's 10 past 10. Let's continue. Če se boste dotaknili tiste zelene lučke, bom zagotovo vedel, Da ste tu z menoj. I just moved away. Let's give it some time. Even if I don't see the flash right now, the spike, I'll see it when I review the footage. Vidite, da mi ni nič hudega, če to luč držim v roki. I'm going to place it back down. Once again, weird things start to happen. Nothing happens for the next 3 minutes. I hear another noise, but the two microphones don't pick it up. I stopped the EMF meter experiment because I thought I heard something moving on the western side of the house. First it sounded like on the outside. Sometimes it also sounded like it's on the inside. I stayed quiet for a while, just so I wouldn't draw any attention to myself. I'd be annoyed if someone is messing with me. I didn't tell nobody that I'll be doing this, except the owner, and I told him not to talk about it with anybody. And for the record, the EMF meter once again didn't go off. Okay, it's time for the Ouija board session now. Let me get everything set up. I got my board set up on a table. There is a chair opposite of me if anybody wants to join me. I have the planchette right here. It's a small shot glass. I got a white candle burning to the right of me, and also to the right of me there is a thermometer. Let's see. We're at 18 degrees Celsius right now, just for the record. Before we begin, I'm gonna read through the 25 rules for doing Ouija board seances. I haven't memorized them all, so let me just refresh them quickly. One of the rules is never leave the planchette on the board. And one rule is also never do it alone. Supposedly, you're not strong enough on your own to start the ritual. And also, if you're alone and you contact somebody you shouldn't, then it's just you. But I feel that this is better because in this way I'm just endangering myself and not my friends. Actually, I'm gonna move the camera that's looking at me to behind me, so it actually captures this whole room and the hallway, just in case something happens, something shows up. Tu sem v kuhinji, dajem vam možnost, da se pogovorimo, ampak ne z glasom, ampak s pomočjo te table tu na mizi, na kateri so črke, številke, da, ne in adijo. Stopite sem, usedite se, če želite, in vodite moje roke do tam, kjer želite. Vabim tiste, ki so živeli, ki živite v tej hiši, ali pa koga iz vasi, kakšnega soseda, ki je mogoče slučajno tu. Vi pa vodite moje roke. Je kdo z mano? That's my chair creaking. Da. Dobro. Hvala. Bom se premaknil na sredino. Prosim, pojdite na črko, s katero se začne vaš priimek. We landed somewhere in between 2 and V. I'm gonna ask one more time. Prosim, če lahko ponovite tole zadnje, če se premaknete tam, kot se začne prva črka vašega priimka. Maybe I stopped too quickly. Je to to? To ste mi željeli pokazati? Tole. Hvala. A V. Interesting. I know some history of this house, and I don't recall anyone with a surname that starts with a V.
That's true. However, a few of the neighboring families' surname does start with the letter V.
But let's continue. Ali mogoče veste, katera je prva črka mojega imena? Če pa ne veste, pa prosim, da se premaknete na ne. That's a 2. Bom še enkrat vprašal. Mogoče veste, kako je prva črka mojega imena? Če pa ne veste, pa vas prosim, da se premaknete na ne. No. We're still on a 2. What else can I ask? Maybe I need to charge myself up first. One more time. Prosim, povejte mi, katerega leta smo. Tri, štiri. 3. Bom še enkrat vprašal. Prosim, pokažite mi, katerega leta smo. Hvala. Once again, we ended up at 3 or maybe 4, which is weird. Next question. basmati doesn't do.
Nothing worth mentioning happened in the next few minutes, so I decided to take a break and do some Polaroid photography.
Nothing special here. No. 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 There's an orb here, but it could be just dust. Yeah, that's it. I moved the second camera. Let's try one more time. I put my phone away and in airplane mode I removed my watch, and I'll use the EMF meter this time. Okay, let's begin.
In the next 10 minutes, the planchette barely moved, and the EMF meter, once again, didn't go off. At some point, I even stopped and reread the rules, but nothing changed, so I decided to stop and say goodbye.
My stomach is growling. I keep hearing some random noises from one of the two rooms. Could be anything. Could be just the house creaking. Yeah. Did you hear that? A piece of plaster fell down. Lahko ponovite ta zvok? We're still around 18 degrees Celsius. Nothing special. Yeah, so I really gave it my all in that Ouija board seance. As far as I can remember, there was only one clear response, that yes, in the beginning, I said, if there's anybody here.
And the V and the 3-4?
But now that I think of it, it was probably just my subconscious pushing the planchette towards the yes. I never really felt that it was just gliding all over the board. If somebody has more experience with Ouija boards, let me know. But now that it's over, I remain skeptical. Maybe I'll try it some other time at some other location. Okay guys, I'm going to sleep now. I'll leave one of the camcorders recording for as long as its battery lasts, and I'll also leave a GoPro recording if anything should happen. I purposefully set up this obstacle course just for peace of mind, so that I can sleep soundly. This bench is kinda narrow, so I set up the two chairs next to it, just in case I fall down. It's 16 minutes past midnight. I wanted to stay up at least until midnight and then go to sleep, so this is it. Good night. I'll see you in the morning.
At around 2 a.m., a Martin decided it's had enough and went to look for another house.
Good morning, guys. I survived. It's time to pack up and head home.
Before the video ends, I'd just like to comment, the infrared light turning on and off multiple times definitely surprised me. I will leave the camera on a few nights just to see if this is normal behavior. Those that have made it this far, thank you for watching. Maybe I'll do another investigation at this house. Goodbye for now.